Hello everybody, welcome to Questions to Eden. I'm the author of the online blog, Jason Plubel, and it is currently exactly 4 a.m. on the dot. Happy 4th of July, guys. If you're seeing this past that, this probably won't be uploaded until after that, but anyhow, I'm at my mom's house watching her dog, making sure he's okay while people are setting off fireworks and such, but that gives me free time to record a video, get stuff out of the way. Crap, I've been up pretty late just reading and writing. So today we're going to be going over, is Islam a religion of peace and tolerance? Now you'll see in the West, especially the West, where you have a more tolerant culture in general, thanks to Christianity, you're going to see Muslims coming into these areas, and whenever they have to, I guess, talk about Islam or defend their religion, they will use keywords or buzzwords that kind of like spark like an emotional trigger in someone's head, kind of like how a lot of political rhetoric is nowadays and such. They use words like tolerant, peaceful, coexistence, very nice words in a passive voice to really just soften the load of Islam onto whoever's listening and stuff, ignorant as they may be. But as much as the Muslims will scream peace and tolerance on their end, their sources, their prophet, absolutely contradicts that statement. Chapter 9, verse 29 of the Quran tells Muslims to subjugate Christians and Jews, to impose an annual tax on them called the jizya. This was a religious tax that people of the book, Jews and Christians, had to pay just to not even just coexist, just to be in an Islamic ruled area. It wasn't like they were paying to be protected or something. No, they were just paying to exist there. They weren't allowed to have any public observances of their religious practices. They were not allowed to speak of any other name, like no other god's name but Allah and stuff. They can't speak of the prophet's name. They have to wear very loose and embarrassing looking clothing. They have to undergo public humiliation rituals from Muslims. So no, they were not tolerant to Jews and Christians. They have never been tolerant to Jews and Christians. Wherever they dominate a Jewish or Christian homeland, they would just absolutely massacre them, rape them, kill them, enslave them, or impose jizya. But that's peace and tolerance, you know. Robert Spencer, once again, in History of Jihad from Muhammad to ISIS on page 216, says that Egypt became a valued source for slaves captured from sub-Saharan Africa. At the Turkish port of Antalya, a customs official in 1559 noted the arrival of cargo from Egypt, among which black slaves, both male and female, constituted the bulk of the traffic. Many ships carried slaves exclusively. The Islamic Empire, they were pretty much funded. Their only source of income were infidel slaves, and then the jizya tax that they would place on infidels and stuff. They didn't generate any wealth themselves. They had to steal it from others. Kind of sounds familiar, right? Anyhow, moving on, chapter 9, verse 111 says that Muslims are to kill unbelievers. And chapter 47, verse 4 tells Muslims that whenever they meet a infidel in battle, they are specifically supposed to cut at the neck. They are commanded to decapitate their enemies on the battlefield. From this is an eyewitness account from Sophronius, the Patriarch of Jerusalem. He would recount that there was so much destruction and plunder, there was outpourings of human blood. He said that churches were pulled down, razed to the ground, that churches were mocked and burned. The cross was burned, the cross was mocked. You had cities plundered, fields devastated. You had villages absolutely burned down. You had Muslims specifically targeting holy sites and churches. You had monasteries overran. This was not peace and tolerance. It's never been peace and tolerance. I don't know how you can get the idea that Islam is peace and tolerance. If you say that, that tells me you know nothing about Islam, except for the 4 facts about it you learned in world cultures in high school. Chapter 3, verse 151 tells Muslims to cast terror into the hearts of disbelievers. They are specifically commanded to actively be trying to terrorize infidels. And in in the chapter 2, verse 191, it literally commands Muslims to kill non-Muslims wherever they find them. The Ottoman Empire would terrorize Christian caravans, kill the men, take the women and children as slaves, and this was rinse and repeat throughout all of Islam's history up until today. Chapter 2, verse 216 tells Muslims to fight unbelievers even if they don't want to themselves. Now see, if Allah is a God of righteousness, why would he be commanding you to do something wicked even if you don't want to? Seems a little weird. And when a Muslim governor was even granted the smallest amount of tolerance to infidels, the caliphate of the time, the leader of Islam at that time, would often send soldiers to the area to impose Sharia law, oftentimes execute or punish the ruler or governor that was being tolerant. So although there were maybe some time, like very scant periods in Islamic history where there was some tolerance, it was immediately shut down by Islam. So you can't say Islam is tolerant if Islam is shutting down the tolerance. Doesn't really make sense. And Nasai 4095 says that whoever changes his religion, you are to kill him. So anybody who leaves Islam is to be executed. Any apostate is to be dead. Chapter 2, verse 12 says to behead those who believe in the scriptures. Chapter 8, verse 60 says that they must muster all weapons to terrorize infidels. Verse 65 says non-Muslims are stupid. Chapter 9, verse 30 calls all Christians and Jews perverts. Chapter 9, verse 123 says to make war with non-Muslims in your neighborhood. So if you're a Muslim, if you live in suburban, and you're maybe the only Muslim there, you are commanded by your holy book to muster any object that you can take as a weapon. You are to muster against infidels to kill them in your neighborhood, the locals around you. Chapter 4, verse 24 says that you can take captives as your sex slaves if you have any women in captivity. Their marriage, if they are married, is voided, and it applies to you, making them your wife. And also another concept in Islam is that a Muslim man can come onto his wives whenever he feels like it. So pretty much a sex slave type of deal, you know. Next up, Sunan Abu Dawud 2150 to 2155 offers the context for chapter 4, verse 24. Whenever Muhammad sent a military expedition to Ataz during the Battle of Hunayn, they defeated their enemies and took them captive, and then they wanted to have relations with their captive women in front. The text literally says in front of their husbands. So, oh my god, I'm getting chills. Muhammad's men raided a village, took all the women, didn't even kill their husbands, and was like, hey Muhammad, can we bang them in front of their hubbies? What? That's insane. Chapter 98, verse 6 calls Jews and Christians the worst of creatures, which means the worst of all creation. Sahih Muslim, book 37, 6,668, sorry, brain fart. There would come people amongst the Muslims on the day of resurrection with as heavy sins as mountains, and Allah would forgive them, and he would place in their stead the Jews and Christians. So any Muslim anywhere, no matter how many sins you've committed, you could be the most un-Muslim Muslim to ever enter Islam. And whenever the day of judgment comes for Islam and you're standing face to face with Allah, he's not going to judge you on any absolute standard of righteousness and holiness. He's going to be like, you're one of my guys. Oh, there's a Jew. Going in his place. Yeah, dude, that makes a lot of sense. That is wild. That's retarded. In Sahih Muslim 37, 6,666 says the exact same thing. So no, Islam is not a religion of peace. They are commanded in just about every chapter to fight infidels, kill them, rape them, enslave them, burn their houses down, raze their churches to the ground, replace them with mosques, make them into Muslims, and if they don't accept, behead them. Peace and tolerance? Where that left the room like before Muhammad was born at this point. Like, what? It's insane. But if you guys enjoyed this, I would suggest subscribing to the YouTube channel. If you're watching on like Instagram or Facebook or something, like the post, follow the page, look at the online blog. I'm kind of going on a, not like a hiatus, kind of just posting articles here and there whenever I can, because I am writing a book right now, and that's what I've been working on all night and stuff. It's currently 4:12 a.m. now, so I need to go to bed. I really need to go to bed. I've been up way too long just thinking. So without further ado, you guys keep asking questions, stay smart, follow Jesus, and God bless you all.